Hi, I'm Mike Lee with Team Horizon, and this is a Team Tech Tour. This is where we get to show you around one of the newest Horizon products that get a little bit closer than what you might normally see in a 60-second ad. In this Team Tour, we're going to take a close look at the Spektrum DX18 Generation II transmitter system for airborne use. Here we go. The DX18 is the flagship radio system from Spektrum that first walked onto the scene in 2011. The DX18 was the first radio to offer a full 18 channels of operation and also features some breakthrough optional features. Scale pilots like to add a ton of detail to their models and add truly realistic moving features as well, but the builders were limited to the number of channels on the transmitter, which 20 years ago was only 8 or 9 channels. The DX18 was designed to meet that challenge by offering up to 18 proportional and switched channels. The system is microprocessor controlled for full digital input and output, for faster frame rate speeds and a more reliable signal link. When coupled with digital servos, the DX18 gives you a much closer feel for the aircraft as it responds more to your thoughts than to your fingers. In 2012, the DX18QQ model made its appearance, and this version featured some software options geared toward the fixed wing and rotary wing aerobatics world. World-renowned aerobatics pilot Kike Somanzini contributed much of his expertise in 3D aerobatics to the software package to make the DX18QQ model the natural choice of radio for pilots flying 3D maneuvers. Optional programming features include flight conditions, dual and tri-rates, servo balancing, multi-point mixing options with pilot selectable curves, and even prop pitch control for variable pitch props. In this team tour, we look at the latest version of the DX18, the Generation II version. Out of the box, it looks pretty darn familiar, but a closer look will reveal a telltale change that distinguishes the DX18 from the previous versions. No more teasing, let's take a look around the DX18 Generation II radio. That telltale sign that is the giveaway hint that you have a Gen 2 radio is the main label. The Gen 2 label is also a speaker grill, and there is a reason the Gen 2 has that grill. You guessed it, the Gen 2 has voice notifications to let you know things like a change in flight mode, throttle alerts, telemetry information, timer information, and much more. You can select from a large menu of notifications and warnings to suit your needs. The voice notification volume can be adjusted to meet your own personal comfort level or turned off. When you look at the face of the Gen 2, you see a no-nonsense layout of the controls. Spektrum engineers spent many hours of design work to arrive at the layout that is ergonomically comfortable to the pilot, well-balanced, and allowing easy and natural access to the switches and auxiliary controls. The large display is clean and easy to read, even in bright sunlight. It is backlit with an adjustable light level, as well as duration. The programming controls retain the previous layout design and positions, as it's really hard to beat a successful design. The control sticks ride in a quad ball-bearing chassis for the ultimate in smooth movement and precise control. The sticks are adjustable in length to suit the individual pilot's preference and feel. Both sticks utilize digital trim switches, with trim position indicators shown on the display screen. The DX18 will support all modes of stick configuration, with Mode 2 being the normal out-of-box mode. The tips of the control sticks are precision machined aluminum that are non-slit surfaced. Let's look at the upper quadrant right now. Starting with their upper left quadrant, the front face holds a traditional triple rate elevator switch, C, and 3-position switch, D. Switch D can be used to activate flight modes or aircraft functions, such as flaps or navigation lights. And inboard of the face switches is a left trimmer switch. Many pilots use this switch to trim the trailing edge position of aircraft equipped with a 2-servo flap or 2-servo aileron setup. Along the side we find the left lever switch. And many pilots use this to provide a variable position flap function on their model. On the top left shoulder, we have switch A, normally used for activating retractable landing gear, and 3-position switch B. Just next to the antenna tower is momentary switch I, which is used for performing binding as well as trainer switch activation. On the upper right quadrant, we find the 3-position switch F, which is a traditional aileron triple rate switch for aerobatics pilots, along with the 3-position switch E, which is used for changing flight modes or activating functions on the model. Inboard of this is the right trimmer switch, again being used to trim a flight surface separate from the normal trim switch. Along the right side, we find the right lever switch, and this is a fully proportional switch that may be used for things such as an in-flight fuel mixture. On the top right shoulder, we find the 3-position switch G, and behind that, the 2-position switch H. Sailplane pilots use this to enter into a flight mode such as launch mode. Inboard of these switches is the right control knob, which is used to proportionally move a function such as a sliding canopy or air brakes. We're looking at the right side now, and here you can see the right lever switch and the ergonomically shaped rubber grips that adorn the side of the transmitter. Along the right side of the Gen 2 case is the charging jack for the transmitter. The charger is built into the transmitter case and will automatically stop the charging process once the internal lithium polymer battery has been fully charged. The front face of the DX18 is lighted to indicate the charge is in process. This light turns off when the charge is completed. Moving to the rear of the transmitter case, we find access to some of the comfort controls of the DX18. At the top we find the main battery and carry handle. Inside the carry handle is a secondary transmitter antenna for a wider signal footprint and increased signal diversity. In the middle of the case, the Gen 2 has a headphone jack that allows you to discreetly listen to the voice notifications. Below that is a trainer cord port. You might not need to use this port as the DX18 features a wireless buddy box system that frees the pilot from being tethered to his student, yet still allows complete trainer system flight at all times. At the bottom of the case is the battery cover, and inside we find a high capacity 2600 mAh lithium based battery pack. This size pack will allow for hours of flight time enjoyment on a single charge. Just below the battery box is a SD card slot. This allows you to not only expand the number of models you can store in memory, but it also allows you to easily perform software updates as well as transfer model setups between other DX18 and DX9 users. Note that even without the SD card in use, the DX18 can store up to 250 model setups in memory. This completes our walk around of the DX18 Generation II radio, but you've only been able to see the outside. It's what's inside that really sets it apart. Besides the voice alerts we've already seen, the DX18 features a Spektrum wireless trainer system that will link up to any microprocessor-controlled Spektrum radio, such as the DX7. Other features include a 6-aileron wing setup, canard mixing with elevons, finer trim control motion down to 0.5% motion per click, origin mixing, allowing you to program a mix that is activated by your stick position and not the switch, more avatar images, such as you see here, for your model memory, and direct access to the servo monitor from the scroll switch. Your DX18 system is a very versatile, full-featured radio system that is going to last you a long time. As new capabilities are developed, the Spektrum engineers will provide DX18 pilots with software updates free of charge as one of the perks of being a Spektrum user. With 18 channels available to you, it may take quite a while for you to run out of control functions and features. Your DX18 is also covered by the Spektrum 1-year warranty. Hope you've enjoyed our tour of the Spektrum DX18 Generation II radio system. There is no doubt that this radio will expand your horizons with increased capabilities and awesome features that will enhance your flying enjoyment. For Team Horizon, I'm Mike Lee, and thanks for taking a tour with us and the DX18.